Greetings everyone, my name is Stefan and welcome back to part 3 of the Ultimate Guide to Stellaris. In this video we'll be covering colonization and how you can develop your colonies in the most efficient way possible. Now this video series is sponsored by Paradox. I forgot to mention that in the previous two, but yeah, hopefully they actually shout my videos out and we get more views. Anyways, let's get back to the topic at hand, which is planets. Now as you can see here, we have developed quite a bit from our last save, and we have quite a few planets under our control. Specifically, we have colonies in 3 different stages of development. First, we have 3 colonies that are just colonized, 1 that is moderately advanced, and 1 which is fully advanced and almost matured at 10 pops. You see, when you just colonize a world, you will get 1 or 2 pops on it. Those 2 pops will go ahead and serve as colonists. They will produce a little bit of food and a little bit of amenities. Overall, colonists are not an efficient pop type, and you will want to get some more production up and running as soon as possible. For that, you will want to go ahead and build either a generator, a mining, or an agriculture district. Now, if you don't have any deficits in your empire and don't know what to build, just go for generator districts, because then you'll be able to just buy anything else that you need. Early on, this is going to be your greatest concern, and you're just going to want to build a couple districts for the future. Later on, once your colony becomes a little bit more mature, you will start opening up building slots. And building slots will serve you very well. Now, on your first colony, I do recommend going ahead and selecting a civilian industries as your first building. However, if you have the robot assembly plant technology unlocked, you will want to go for that instead. Now, as a reminder, you can get the robot assembly from engineering. You gotta get powered exoskeletons first, and then get robotic workers. Afterwards, you'll be able to build an amazing building. You see, a robot assembly plant is amazing because it produces robots at a rate of 2 growth per month. The general growth on your colonies is going to be roughly around that number, 2 per month. So effectively, once you get a robot assembly plant going, you will double your pop growth on your planets, which is very, very sweet. It will cost you quite a bit upfront, and it will also cost you quite a bit in upkeep. So do keep that in mind if your economy is suffering. However, if you're playing this right and you're just seizing all the resources in space and on planets, you should be quite alright by this point in the game. So let's go ahead, build our robot assembly plant, and take a look at our more developed planet. Now here we have built a civilian industries as our first building because this was our first colony. And as you can see here, this colony is at 10 pops but is suffering a little bit from housing and amenities shortages. However, we do not want to remedy these with any sort of buildings whatsoever. Instead, we're just going to wait until we can upgrade our reassembled ship shelter. Once we can do that, we can get severely increased bonuses to our colony. As you can see here, after we have upgraded our main building, housing is no longer a problem, and amenities are also not a problem. The reason for that is because the main building provides housing and amenities, and also provides 2 jobs for rulers. It provides 2 administrators, which produce unity and amenities. This is actually quite big, and is going to be sufficient for you until you reach about 15 or 20 pops or so. At that point, you will want to start worrying about amenities and stuff like that, but unless it gets to -5 or 6 or so, don't really worry about that too much. Instead, you should focus on building more and more districts for raw resource production and more buildings in your open building slots. I'll cover in-depth planetary development in the next video, but for now just keep in mind that one of your main priorities is going to be to not have negative consumer goods. So build those civilian industries and make sure all your pops get their television sets, because if you don't, they're going to rebel and they're going to be really, really unhappy. Otherwise, go ahead and build some research labs or some alloy foundries. Now, this situation is going to be the case if you're colonizing a high habitability world. As you can see here, this planet is a 90% match to our own homeworld, and so has very few penalties to amenities, upkeep, and resource production. Now, planets such as this one here is a whole different type from our home planet, and so will have very severe penalties for habitability. This makes the planet quite undesirable because you will get significantly more deficits on the planet, and you will suffer some significant amenities issues later on. Early on in the game, I really do not recommend you colonize any of these low habitability worlds unless that's your only choice. These planets are better than not having planets at all. However, if you can just go ahead and develop other colonies first, please go ahead and do so. It's going to make your life so much easier. As a general rule of thumb, if the habitability is below 50%, you do not want to colonize that planet within the first 20 or so years. Later on, you can potentially just spam robots and have the colony run on robots. You can go ahead and resettle populations. So potentially your low habitability worlds can just be settled by robots and a few ruler pops. However, if you're just starting out in the game, don't try that. First get a grip in your economy, and then maybe go for some resettlement shenanigans. Resettlement is a very important tool that you do have to learn eventually, because with it you can do certain things such as resettling from your capital planet in order to get more pops, in order to get more growth on your planets. You see, colonies have reduced growth by default because they are colonies, and until you get the planetary administration building going, you will get a 50% penalty. If you were to use a resettlement to resettle 10 pops to a planet and upgrade the building, you will gain significantly increased growth. However, that is only worth it if you're min-maxing and you have a good grip on your economy. Now, to help you out with that, I'll be releasing another video tomorrow that should get you covered. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in that one. Bye bye.